Don't quit here. You're closer than you think. Every person who has ever walked in purpose has stood exactly where you are standing now, at the edge of quitting. Not because they were weak, not because they lacked faith, not because they didn't pray enough, but because the weight became heavy before the reward became visible. And that's where many people get confused. They assume that struggle means failure. They assume resistance means they're off course. They assume exhaustion means God has stepped back. But often, exhaustion is simply evidence that you've been carrying something that matters. Quitting doesn't usually come with drama. It doesn't come with a loud announcement. It doesn't come with a single moment where you say, "That's it, I'm done." No. Quitting comes quietly. It sneaks in when prayers feel unanswered, when effort feels wasted, when obedience feels unrewarded. It comes when you've been faithful, but nothing seems to be changing. When you're showing up, doing the right things, making sacrifices, yet the results aren't matching the cost. And that moment, that quiet, internal moment, is the most dangerous place to be. Because most people don't quit at the beginning. They quit right before alignment. They quit when things are actually working, just not visibly yet. They quit when God is rearranging things behind the scenes but hasn't revealed the outcome. Scripture gives us a warning and a promise in Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. Notice the condition. If you do not give up. The harvest is promised. The timing is intentional. But endurance is required. God never said the work wouldn't be tiring. He said it would be worth it. The enemy understands something many people forget. He doesn't need to destroy you. He doesn't need to cancel your calling. He doesn't need to block God's plan. He just needs to wear you down. Because tired people make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, and that's how quitting begins. Not with rebellion, not with disbelief, but with weariness. You start hearing thoughts you didn't invite. It's not working. This isn't worth it. You should be further by now. Other people are passing you. Maybe you missed God. Maybe this wasn't really for you. Those thoughts feel logical when you're tired. They feel reasonable when you're discouraged. But they don't come from truth. They come from fatigue. And fatigue distorts perspective. That's why Scripture repeatedly warns us not about lack of talent, not about lack of opportunity, but about growing weary. Because growth is invisible before it's obvious. Just like roots grow underground long before fruit appears above the surface. No farmer digs up the seed every day to check if it's growing. Because disturbance kills development. And some of you are dangerously close to quitting simply because you can't see what God is doing beneath the surface. But hear this clearly. Silence does not mean stagnation. Delay does not mean denial. And resistance does not mean failure. In fact, resistance is often confirmation. The pressure you're under right now is proof that something is forming. If there was nothing in you, there would be nothing pushing against you. Opposition doesn't show up for empty lives. It shows up when purpose is near. It shows up when destiny is being shaped. It shows up when alignment is close. Think about Scripture. Joseph faced betrayal right before promotion. David faced isolation right before the throne. Jesus faced the cross right before resurrection. Pressure intensifies right before breakthrough. Because transition seasons are heavy, they require endurance before they reveal reward. But the enemy knows something most people overlook. If he can get you to quit internally, you'll quit externally soon after. That's why discouragement attacks your mind before anything changes in your environment. Because once hope leaves, obedience soon follows. When hope is gone, prayer feels pointless. Consistency feels unnecessary. Faith feels optional. So let me say this plainly. Don't quit in the valley. Valleys are not graves. They are passageways. They are places of transition, not termination. Don't quit in the waiting room. Waiting rooms exist because something is being prepared for you. No one waits for nothing. And don't quit in the middle of becoming. Becoming always feels uncomfortable because you are shedding an old version of yourself that cannot go where God is taking you. Growth always requires separation. This season isn't punishment, it's preparation. You are not being overlooked. You are being strengthened. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. And you are not behind. You are being aligned. If God brought you this far, He did not do it to abandon you here. If He trusted you with the process, He intends to trust you with the promise. God does not waste seasons. He uses them. So rest if you must. Pause if you need to. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. There are moments when continuing requires more strength than stopping. Moments when the soul feels tired in ways sleep can't fix. So pause. Take a breath. Let the noise settle. Cry if your heart is heavy. Tears are not a sign of failure. They are evidence that something meaningful is at stake. Even Jesus wept. He wept knowing resurrection was coming. He wept knowing the stone would be rolled away. He wept knowing the outcome. And yet, He still felt the weight of the moment. So don't shame yourself for feeling tired. Don't condemn yourself for feeling overwhelmed. Feeling does not disqualify you, but do not quit. Because quitting would mean you believe your emotions more than God's faithfulness. And emotions, as real as they feel, are temporary. They rise, they fall, they shift with circumstances. But calling is permanent. What God placed on your life was not placed there accidentally, and it was not placed there conditionally. It does not expire because you're tired. It does not disappear because you're discouraged. It does not vanish because the season became heavier than you expected. God does not revoke calling because of fatigue. He strengthens people who choose to stay. Your breakthrough is closer than your emotions can see, closer than your exhaustion can feel, closer than your discouragement suggests. Sometimes the final stretch feels like the longest one, not because it actually is, but because the weight is concentrated. You're carrying transition, you're carrying expectation, you're carrying hope while walking through uncertainty. That combination is heavy. But heaviness does not mean hopelessness. It often means something is about to shift. So stay. Stay when it's uncomfortable. Stay when it's quiet. Stay when it feels unrewarded. Stay obedient, even when obedience feels small, even when it feels unnoticed, even when it feels repetitive. Obedience is not glamorous, but it is powerful. Stay faithful. Faithfulness doesn't shout. It whispers consistency. It shows up again and again and again, even when applause is absent. Stay grounded. Don't let disappointment uproot you. Don't let comparison rush you. Don't let delay harden you. Ground yourself in what God already said, not in what you're currently feeling, because the harvest does not announce itself. It doesn't send a warning. It doesn't give a countdown. It reveals itself quietly, suddenly, decisively. One day the season shifts, the door opens, the weight lifts, the clarity comes, and you realize what felt like stagnation was actually strengthening. What felt like delay was development. What felt like silence was construction. And in that moment, you'll be grateful. Grateful you didn't quit in the dark what God was growing in the light. Grateful you stayed when it would have been easier to stop. Grateful you trusted when evidence was thin. Grateful you endured when quitting felt logical. Because staying is what allowed growth to finish its work. So rest if you must. Pause if you need to. Cry if your heart is heavy. But don't quit. Stay.